I will read Resolution 2-17. The following persons are appointed by this body to the positions as I will state them. Board of Adjustment, John Christensen, Timothy Cronk, Paul Stout, Frank Moronsky, Jeremiah Lohman. To the Environmental Commission, Frank Minsker, Jerome Kahim Wright, Nick Uricoli. To the Planning Board, Peter Mancuso, Louise Johnson, Jesse Carr, Rick Hahn, Franz Finsker, Andreas Benvenuto. To Open Space, Daniel Caffrey, John Setti, Richard Watson, Andreas Benvenuto, Susan Young. To the Environmental Commission Liaison, Susan Young was the Environmental Commission Liaison. Economic Development Advisory Committee, Leonard Posey, Scott Schubiger, Kathleen Highland, Susan Young, Dr. Nicole Safier, Daniel Caffrey. To the Board of Health, Peter Mancuso and Dr. Safier. To Parks and Recreation, Daniel Caffrey, Louise Johnson, William Folsch, Tom Buckner, Colleen Moran, Brian Doss, Patrick Minter, Daniel Pagano. To the Joint Free Public Library, Bruce Sisler, Donald Peel. To the Morris Township Historic Preservation Commission, Gene Rich, Eric Hund. To the Board of Ethics, Paul Halaz, Raymond Snyder. To the Sanitary Sewer Advisory Committee, Daniel Caffrey, Bruce Sisler. To the Housing Advisory Council, Bruce Sisler, Timothy Quinn. To the Americans with Disabilities Compliance Committee, William Smith, Dawn Parco, Gina Anton, Nicholas Uricoli, Timothy Quinn. To the Whippany River Watershed Action Committee, Bruce Sisler, Alan Johnson, James Francis. To the Community Development Revenue Sharing Committee, Timothy Quinn, Virginia Murphy. To the Morris Township, Morristown Joint Municipal Alliance, Bruce Sisler, Peter Mancuso, Kylie Tierney, Timothy Quinn, Patrick Tierney, Dr. Nicole Safier, Michael Martinez, Ron Goriab, John McGinnis, Police Chief. The Supplemental Fire Services, Jesse Carr, the Fire Chief. Supplemental Safe Neighborhood, John McGinnis, the Police Chief. To the Beautification Committee, Bruce Sisler, Thomas Eschman, Sophia Bacchus, Jane Byron, Maureen Carlin, Clint Costanza, Suzanne Kyle Benedetto, Ellen Taylor, Rosemary Monod, Regina Doherty. To the Morris Wildlife Management Committee, Daniel Caffrey, John McInnes, Thomas Humbert, Stephen Summerer. Swim Pool Advisory Committee, Maura Braun, Colleen Moran, Sharon Panko, Jean Beato, Richard Watson. To the Trails Committee, Daniel Caffrey, William Folsch, David Elmer, Dan Kelly, Rick Hahn, Alan English, James Hunt, Paul Kizek, Michael Zay, Michael Scheit, Thomas Bowmaster. To the Lackawanna Coalition, Matthew Byrne. Supplemental Fire Services Program Coordinator, the Fire Chief Jesse Carr. Supplemental Safe Neighborhood Coordinator, the Police Chief John McGinnis. To the Public Agency Compliance Officer, or Timothy Quinn is appointed as such. Rebecca Roth is Tax Collector, Tax Search, Tax Officer, Collector of Sewer Fees, Assistant Treasurer, commencing January 1. Catherine Vioringo as Tax Assessor. All of those for your action there.
Thank you, sir. We have a motion for...
Mayor.
We have a second.
Second, Mr. Mayor.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Sir,